The next step in ensuring that the search engines are finding the best pages on your website and improving the ranking of the pages that you want the search engines to find is to go through and remove any pages from your site that have got what we might term thin content, where they don't really have anything on them. Sites that maybe have lorem ipsum on them, where the web developer has there's a page on there that's kind of got this web language before they've actually put content onto the page. Or there could be any other kinds of pages on your site that you really don't want people to be seeing, or you need to add content to. So one of the ways of doing this, and a simple way of checking the pages on your site, is to go into Google and do what we did before by putting, site : and then, your domain name in there. So what I just searched randomly. I've never seen these websites before, don't know the owners of them. The first site I just searched for yoga, and then tried to find a site under there that had some errors that I could show you, which was pretty easy to find. So what we would do is, we look at this site, and you can see that that looks okay. So what we want to do is just click on each of those listings. Okay, you've got the home page, then just have a look at the classes page, and we'll see, yep, okay, so that page has got information on it. And what you want to do, there's 281 results for this page, so that's a lot of pages, but you effectively want to go through every one, click on it, and just see what it is that's on that page, and whether you need to add more content, remove the page, whatever you need to do. So let's have a look at this one. So yep, that page is okay. So if we scroll down, I want to take you to some of the pages that are not okay. So I kind of went through all of these, and once we sort of start getting to about page 6 of their listings, you start seeing all of these attachments. So if we click on that, all it's bringing up is an image. So at the moment, they've got every image, or potentially every image on their site, is not only coming up as an image on the page that you want it to be on, but it's creating a whole nother page on the website, and you definitely don't want that. So what they really need to do is make sure that their images are not being indexed in Google. So again, that would be something that they would have to talk to their web developer about, to make sure that these images aren't being indexed. If it's a WordPress website, which this one does happen to be, if it has one of the SEO plugins in it, it might just be as easy as ticking a box to say, to ask the search engines not to index these particular pages. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. Then we've also got this uncategorized category, and that's something that, let's have a look, let's see what that page is like. So you really want to make sure that all of your blog posts are actually in a category rather than being uncategorized. Let's see what else is on here. But what I would definitely recommend is going through and checking every page, making sure that there's actually some content on there. Certainly the thing that I noticed straight away is, just all these images that are coming up and creating separate pages. So to Google, that means it looks like you've got loads and loads of pages on your site that just have an image, they don't have any content on them. If you stop these pages being indexed in Google, then it can actually increase the rankings of your whole site, because otherwise Google potentially can see it as a site that has a thin amount of content. If we then go to this other site that I found, so I just looked for a site in this case that actually had a blog post with Hello World next to it, which for me is a sure sign that they've got issues with their pages on their website. So this site was pretty easy to find as well. It's only 53 results, so it makes it a little bit easier to go through it. So, we'd go through, we'd click on each one of these and check and make sure what's actually on those pages. Is it something that you want people to be seeing? Does it need more content? Does it need to be removed? If it needs to be removed, does it need to be redirected? Okay, so we start getting here. You may not want the user account to be something that can be indexed in Google. Here we go. Okay, so this site looks like this site's been built in WordPress as well, and often in WordPress you get like sample pages and you get this blog Hello World page. So if we click on this, this is a sample page that would have just been on the site. Now I don't know what this designer baby accessories. Okay, and so it's got this sort of sample page here. It's got nothing to do with the site on it. So that kind of page, you just want to delete it. You don't want it to be there. You don't even need to redirect it. You just don't want it to be there. Then they've also got this Hello World, which is a standard in WordPress as like the first post. And again, you pretty much just want to delete that and get rid of it. You don't need to redirect it. You just don't want it to be there. It's sort of thin content. So that's kind of an example of the pages that I use. Here's another one, testing posts. What's this one? So again, you don't want these to be there. Let's have a look and see what they've got here. Okay, so really what you want to do is you just want to check through and see, have I got a whole lot of pages on my site that don't have 200 to 300 words of content on them, even 100 words of content? Have I got pages that actually have no content written on them at all and are therefore completely useless really to people who are going to visit them? Because for small business websites, you really don't want people to be going to the images from your site. You want them to be finding your products and services pages. If your website was purely just all images and the whole aim of it was to get people to come and look at images on your website, then fine. But we're talking about websites that are for small business owners where you want people to be going to your products and services page. So if we go to this yoga site again, then ideally they're going to want people to be finding their home page. They want people to be finding their classes, their programs, their workshops. And every one of these image pages that they've got potentially reduces the rankings of these other pages. So for a small business site, what you really want to do is get rid of them. For people who have a WordPress site, you can install a plugin that will, a lot of WordPress SEO plugins will allow you to go in and block these. So we'll go into a site now so that you can have a look at that. Okay, so this is one plugin that I tend to use a lot for SEO in WordPress. So it comes up down the left-hand side, SEO, and if we go into the titles and metas section, then you'll see that you've got an option here of not indexing, page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of websites. You can also go into, for here, post types. Posts, I want them to be indexed, so I haven't ticked that. The pages, I want them to be found. But for the media section, I've asked for that to be no index so that it doesn't potentially create its own individual pages. So that's one way of doing it, but there's lots of other ways, and just getting your web developer to make sure that the sections of your website aren't indexed, that are the sections that could potentially be creating these pages that are for each product, or pages without content on them. So that's another important step when it comes to optimization of small business websites. It might not be so important if you had like a 2,000 page site and 50 of them are these thin content, but if you've got a website that only has 6 pages on it, and then it's got another 100 pages of these rubbishy pages, then obviously that's not going to help at all. Summary then for this tip is that we want to try and get rid of pages that have got like thin content, bad content, not content that you want people to see. So what you want to do is go into Google, put in site, and then whatever your domain name is, it will bring up all your results, and you want to go to every single one of them, see what they are, and see whether that is a page that you want people to be going to or finding, whether it needs to be deleted, redirected, or more content added onto it, or not indexed.